Magic players need to get ready because Marvel is going to be huge in 2025. Chris Cox just told us this at the third quarter earnings call for Hasbro. If you're fans of Magic the Gathering, I hope you're also fans of Marvel, because you have a lot of it coming very soon. Welcome back, everyone. MTG Moxman here, and thank you again for hanging out with me on my channel today. Now, what I mean by that is they just had their third quarter earnings call for Hasbro. And of course, I listened in. I wanted to be aware of what's going on with that company. I'm sure a lot of you guys did as well. Now, a lot of players, a lot of other content creators out there are going to be taking that kind of slant that the company's not doing well, that Magic's lost a little bit of money. They've loaned out all kinds of brands, so revenue is down. They've got some things being offloaded still, like the E1 Entertainment. I don't care about any of that. I know what happened. I listened. I've just informed you. But that's not what I care about. Most of you don't either. We want to know what's going to happen with Magic the Gathering. We want to know what to expect going up to this set and into the new year. And there's a lot going on. And some of it was mentioned as kind of like a backdrop of a conversation, and some of it was right in your face, which in this case is Marvel. Now, there's a couple of things I think we need to understand before we dive into the actual conversation of the upcoming sets for Marvel. First off, they said for the next 5 years. 5 years. There'll be multiple products. They mentioned, of course, the Spider-Man standalone, Universes Beyond type thing. Guys, I get it. It's going to be an amazing set for a lot of players. We're going to see Spider-Man and the Spider-Verse. Epic stuff. It does get attention. It does grab you. But let's not forget that this is not Wizards of the Coast licensing out Spider-Man. Remember, I said there's more to what we're talking about today. This is a collaboration. Disney doesn't just give things up for nothing, even if it's for a paycheck. They will protect their brand, and people need to remember that. They're not going to have the brand look bad. They know this brand has to be nurtured and grown. So really, this is a collaboration between two companies hoping to step into the limelight and both win. They both want to win. Hasbro wants to make money, and they want to use Wizards of the Coast and Magic the Gathering to do it. Disney, Marvel, has recognized the popularity and the fact there's a lot of kind of cross-promotional things that can go on with this that isn't going to do anything probably to hurt their company. If anything, it might put more butts in the seats or into their product line themselves of other things that maybe Disney and Marvel offer up as a service. That can be anything from movies to TV shows. Guys, there's tons going on. And let's not forget, we said 5 years. Think about how long the new movies are going to go. Do you think these tie-ins are going to be independent things? No. No. Disney wouldn't do that. They're not going to let random sets appear. Okay? The reason it's going to be 5 years and as a major product lineup is you can probably expect to see things like the Secret Wars, the Doomsday thing with Robert Downey Jr. You're going to see probably a similar release date kind of arc in the products tied to the films, 2025, 2026, going forward, with one or two major releases. They also mentioned during the overall conference call toward the end of it, okay? I think it was like 34 minutes and on, about halfway through. Get to the 34-minute mark if you're going to listen to it and go from there. And there's quite a bit of Magic coverage in there. He mentioned there was another big set coming that he can't mention yet other than the Spider-Verse. He also mentioned that although it's going to be a 5-year thing, he mentioned that idea that it would be a longer legs set, which means they're expecting to have revenue generated over a longer period of time, like Lord of the Rings. They talked about their revenue being down right now. And the reason that revenue is down is because they didn't have a Lord of the Rings special edition kind of set at the end of the year. They knew that their products had to take a break. Whether they lost revenue or not, they realized you can only go to so far before you need to take a breath. Lead the horse to the stream. Let it rest for a minute before you saddle up and ride again. But of course, he did mention, Chris Cox did say, the next year is going to be a big one. I believe him. Now, that's an interesting thing because a lot of what a president, a CEO, the big wigs are going to say is what's for investors. But after the Lord of the Rings, I believe him. That's a big statement because I don't give that one easily. The success they've had and the way they've lined things up, has followed their consumer growth targets in Magic the Gathering. The product is going up in value. They are having more players join up, and the cross-promotional Universes Beyond has garnered some attention from all these various audiences attached to those IPs. That's undeniable. Now let's jump that back to Disney. Disney may have had conversations earlier on and watched how the other IPs have been received, tied to TV shows like Fallout, right? You jump into things like The Walking Dead, AMC's Walking Dead, and now you go and you look at Disney with this massive lineup of Marvel characters, which they fully control. And you think about all the characters they can bring in, all the secret layers that they can tie in. And Disney's like, okay, we can see a lot of revenue possibilities, but how is this going to promote our brand? How is this going to help us get our products to market, get our ideas on paper, and help for upcoming films, TV shows, and the like, as well as toys? Because Hasbro's a toy company, Disney makes a lot of toys. And they sell a lot of things, so you can see how that might work out as well with the right lineup at the right time. Be very interesting to see if you see a cross-promotional item like a toy that has a magic card in it of the same character. Almost like the old hologram cards of the 90s that used to come with some of the action figures. You don't know, but Disney knows, and of course Hasbro knows, because it benefits both companies. That's why it's more of that kind of collaboration when it benefits them both. Now, when they're tying it into their films over the next 5 years, and of course their films take multi-years to get across, but when we start seeing these big lineups for the films, I guarantee that, well, not guarantee, as close as I can guarantee the Moxman's opinion, we are going to see cross-promotional items lined up with these releases to help build up that FOMO and hype for the films and the Magic products. Cross-promotional. It's going to benefit them both. And I think that's where players are going to see a lot of these trends come up. The actual products themselves, though, Into the Spider-Verse, picture all the different Spider-Man they can give us. Picture next Spider-Man universe type film. They're talking about in 2026 filming the Spider-Man 4, right? So we're going to see this with Tom Holland, and I bet we'll see a Magic set tie in quite closely to it, right? Because it's less than a year apart, roughly, before that film would come out after the end of the Magic products kind of release, which means it's in your mind. It's in the subconscious about Spider-Man, about X-Men, about Secret Wars, about whatever product they're putting out. There'll be a close lineup to keep your mind framed up on the idea of a film, of the characters, a good idea of what you're looking forward to. And you're like, hey, I love playing this Magic card. Iron Man was awesome. Oh, Doctor Doom was a great Magic card. Hey, they got the Doctor Doom movie coming? That's right. Oh, it's going to be the Secret Wars. Oh, I hope they get Hugh Jackman as Logan again. I hope Wolverine comes around. What is Deadpool going to be like? How about the Hulk? Which Hulk are they going to choose? Are we going to have World War? The point is, all of these things are just singular items that could be tied into massive cross-promotional that is going to be big. Now, really, it's bigger for Disney than it is for Hasbro. Disney's a much bigger company. Hasbro, on the other hand, will stand to benefit a lot from this. The wallets will open, the cash will flow. And if they make this set big enough, you're going to see it continue on beyond the 5 years, I bet. If it goes big enough, and they can make almost like a standalone Magic game, Magic the Gathering rules, but with Marvel cards, you might see an entirely separate game system develop. Still Magic, but only played with Marvel cards. I'll be curious to see what people's thoughts are on this, because I'm sure I'm not covering every thought pattern in my head. I know there's a lot of people who can think a lot more outside the box on what some of these marketing ideas could come across as, but the point is, a lot of content creators that I can think of would probably really focus on the lost revenue from the company. They will focus on the downtrends on their stocks, their margins, their inventory. But those are all cost-cutting measures to line up for what they plan to do next, which is more of the games and stuff, right? I don't know if you guys have noticed, but they've also covered a whole bunch of royalty things where they said, oh, we've been loaning out our licenses. That's when you start seeing those little things in the Dollaramas and dollar stores are really cheap, like Transformers toys or erasers and pens and stuff that are licensed from Hasbro. But they've been loaned out. They're making millions of dollars off that, but they don't have to worry about the branding. It's been taken care of. And they're willing to just kind of ride that coattail and make that money. But then you've also got movies like Transformers 1 where they're going to try to ride it up. I mean, we might see eventually a Transformers Magic set. Who knows? Maybe that's an unannounced thing because they did like the cartoon version, right? Like the CGI kind of version. Who knows what'll happen? We could see another whole set followed on their failed TCG game of Transformers that didn't really take off at Hasbro, but they did do pretty well with the Brothers War Transformers cards, so maybe they'll meld that into a whole new set as well. Who knows? But the ideas are there, and they're waiting for all the fan base in their 30s to 50s to try again and play this stuff and get into it. Final Fantasy, it's going to be big. He said it was going to be big. It's probably going to be big for the Final Fantasy fans out there. I know I'm so excited. I'm sure you guys are too. Can't wait to see some of the cards, to see what we're getting into. It's going to be a crazy year. But that also means our wallets better be ready for what they're going to send our way, because I have a feeling I'm going to go broke next year if they do things correctly. I'm just going to keep opening my wallet to some cool cards. But you guys let me know. Guys, thanks again for hanging out. Thanks for being here with the Mox Man. If you enjoyed today's content, don't worry. I'll be back tomorrow with another video. And of course, guys, have an awesome day. Bring a friend to Magic, and I'll see you guys soon. Hey guys, a boomstick edition to you because you're the fans of the channel if you make it this far. This is, of course, the post-credit scene where you've seen all these awesome patrons on my channel. And we're looking for a few good people to help out the channel. So remember, if you can find a Patreon slot open, you make sure you sign up. We do giveaways. We have a great time. My private Discord. But to all my patrons out there who make this happen every day, my YouTube membership members, thanks again for that support, everyone. Well, well, well. We're back here again, my friends. The Ramble Jamble. Ramble in the Jamble! And it's going to continue on that way. Now, if you're having a great day, that's good. If you're having a bad day, I'm sorry, and I hope you have a good day. If you had a hamburger today, you're already having a good day because hamburgers are awesome. And at the same time, have some nachos and cheese because it is so good. Nachos and cheese. Nachos and cheese! Yeah, I don't really have much other to say because now my brain is thinking nachos and cheese. This was a lost cause. Have a great day, everyone. I am literally going to make nachos and cheese now. And you should go make some too.